No, Colin, I have a lunch date.
You don't look well, Sarah. You're not getting enough sleep?
I'm waiting for someone.
Hung up on me last night. Twice.
First time I was trying to be discreet. The second time I was trying to make a point.
Well, I got the hint. I'm just not taking it, Sarah.
I wish you would, Colin. Particularly before...
Before Michael gets here? Why is it that you always hesitate before you say his name? Like you don't want to hurt me, even though you're so anxious to get rid of me.
Colin, I'm asking you not to embarrass me.
Sarah, I'm not trying to embarrass you. I just want to talk to you.
Not now.
When?
Colin, I'm meeting Mike to tell him when we're going to get married, to set the date. Now, will you please leave me alone?
The doctors will return in just a moment.
Oh, where's Jason? Come on, come on.
Luke, relax. Jason is not going to desert us.
Said for us to be here right away now, didn't he?
I know.
What's the matter? Aren't you worried? Doreen, the DA, has called us both in.
Luke, it is not the DA. It is the assistant to the DA. We are not that important.
Oh, man.
Besides, he said we have nothing to worry about.
Don't believe it. Man, they are going to throw the book at us.
Will you please try and calm down?
I can't help it. I can't stand standing around here like this. I wish they'd just do what they're going to do with us and get it over with.
So do I. It shouldn't be much longer now. At least I hope not. Besides, I have a 4 o'clock hair appointment.
What are they talking about in there? What is Jason doing?
Look, I am sure he is doing what he does best. Cutting through red tape. At least I hope so. Oh.
Great. Oh, good. Glad you made it. Shouldn't be more than a few minutes now.
Jason, they certainly didn't give us very much notice for this. Don't you think they should have at least given us time to prepare?
There's nothing to prepare. Hank Carew just wants to ask you some questions.
Do we have to answer them?
No, you don't have to say a thing. That's your right. But if you refuse to talk in this informal meeting today, then I can just about guarantee you that Carew will press charges. And from there, it goes to the grand jury.
What do you mean?
Now,
What evidence?
just listen to me. Now, Carew has plenty to say to you, and he's got more than enough circumstantial evidence to prosecute.
Jason, what are you talking about? What evidence?
Criminal negligence is probably what he'd pick.
Oh, terrific. Pick. I mean, we're guilty of so many things, he's got a choice.
Luke, if you start talking like this in there, we're finished.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I said Carew could prosecute, but what he could prove, that's another thing. Now, I say he can't prove anything. I know Hank. As much as he would want to prosecute, he'd be reluctant to do it, unless he was pretty sure he'd get a conviction. Now, the man's got a good batting average, and I don't think he's going to want to risk striking out.
Well, then you see, Luke, everything's going to be just fine.
Now, Doreen, I don't guarantee it's going to be pleasant, but I think we'll come out okay if... And I want you to listen very carefully, if you do exactly as I say.
Jason, I'll do anything you say.
All right, first, you're going to be very cooperative and very calm. No matter what Hank says, he can be tough.
All right, well, I think we can handle that.
Good. Now, cooperative. That doesn't mean you chat with the man. You say as little as possible. And always look at me for a cue before you answer. Give me a chance to speak first if I need to.
Gotcha.
Okay. And if there's an answer, a question that can be answered yes or no, don't go into details, and for heaven's sake, tell the truth.
Wait a minute. I don't know about this. This is getting ridiculous.
Oh, what's the matter?
Well, I don't know. I mean, this thing's getting kind of complicated, don't you think? I could just see me putting my foot in my mouth.
Luke, it isn't complicated. Now, everything's gonna be fine. Now, unless you give him the rope, the man can't hang you.
I know you, Sarah.
No, you don't. Maybe you did once.
Look, you haven't changed, not that much. All right, you go ahead with your marriage plans. But you won't go through with them.
Colin, if you won't leave, I will.
Now, wait a minute. I have a right to talk to you, Sarah. I figured that night after we spent together at the Madison Arms, I have every right. You do remember the other evening, don't you, Sarah?
Will you please lower your voice?
What do you think that was for me, a one-night stand?
Colin, I can't think about that now.
Not now? Okay. Okay, but you do remember the other evening, don't you? Now, if you were foolish enough to go ahead with your plans to marry Michael Powers, you'll regret that as long as you live.
Wait.
Hi, sweetheart.
Hi.
Sorry I'm late.
No, I was early.
Colin, I see that you released the Elliott boy this morning. I was surprised.
Wealthy parents, private nurse.
Hi.
He'll get adequate care there. He was wooing MJ with his private swimming pools and
Oh, come on.
fancy tennis courts,
You're
right?
gossiping about me, huh?
Viciously. Come on, why don't you sit down?
No, you're in the middle of some sort of...
No, not at all, really. We were about to go. If you'll excuse us, Sarah and I have things to discuss.
Oh.
Better take my coffee? No, that's not mine. That's...
Happy, huh?
What?
Like it's Sarah?
Are you jealous?
Yes, I think I am. I mean, not that they don't deserve...
Don't deserve all the happiness in the world. Well, I don't agree with you. I think they should at least leave some for us. Oh, such a mess here.
Here we go.
MJ, it's you that I'm concerned about.
Well, I'm a little concerned about me, too.
Well, in post-op and prepping patients, even just communicating with them, you're fantastic. But when you're under a strain, I saw how scared you were this morning.
I was terrified.
Look, I would recommend that you take a leave of absence if I thought it would do any good. But I don't think it will. Look, there was a time in Sydney when I was under a great deal of stress. One of the doctors, he was one of my peers, ordered me to take a little house by the beach, take a few weeks fishing, swimming.
But you didn't.
When I think about that now, if I'd have done it, it would have just about killed me.
Colin, I don't want to stop working right now.
Well, I'll back you up on that. I'm right behind you, all the ways. But once I see that the patient's care is being jeopardized...
I understand. Thank you.
Well, don't thank me yet. You still have to work out what to do with you. Did you look at those courses at the university for the summer semester?
Yeah.
I think a few of them would be good for your specialty.
Well, I will look into it some more, but very honestly, I'm not sure I could stand the extra pressure right now.
Well, I think you can. MJ, you have the energy. All you have to do is learn to focus it and do what you want.
Don't you believe what we teach our patients about cutting down on stress?
Most of it I do, but the part about doing too much, I don't know about that. I mean, what is too much? I mean, you take something nourishing into your life, and you have to pay a price in time and energy. But it's worth it. Sometimes I wonder about whether the energy's going into the right place, whether it's not going into self-pity or just daydreaming.
And I didn't see Greta this morning, but Dad was furious.
Yes, well, I don't blame her for hiding out. Your father can be, kind of formidable.
Yeah, he can. And what about me? Can I do that too?
Well, not exactly in the same way, I don't think.
Well, I'm glad. Actually, underneath this stern Powers exterior is a quivering bowl of jelly at the moment, because I am dying to marry you, lady. As soon as you get your brains unscrambled and you tell me whether it's going to be a big wedding or a small wedding or a June wedding or a May wedding.
All right, Michael.
Have you decided?
Yeah, I think I know what I want to do.
What are you doing?
Working?
Working.
Making lists about things I have to do tomorrow. Telephone calls, plumbing, decorating, that kind of thing.
Oh, man. Lorraine, I don't get you at all.
What's the matter? Am I doing something strange?
Yeah, I think a little strange. I mean, I don't see how you can just pick up where you left off this morning like nothing's going on.
Luke said, Jason said that if we were honest in there and told the truth, and were careful, everything would be fine.
Oh, yeah, sure.
What is the matter with you? Come on, don't you trust Jason?
Yeah, I trust Jason. I just don't see how you can sit there and make plans for the medicine man until this thing is over with.
Well, it's certainly better than wearing out the floor.
Yeah, well, you may feel all neat and clean about this whole thing, but I don't.
Jason, would you please say something to him? He's going to ruin this whole thing.
Yeah, we're supposed to be real honest about this, aren't you? To tell the truth? Well, the truth is, I think I'd feel like it's about as guilty as if I struck a match and started a damn fire myself.
Come here. Now, you want to be prosecutor, judge, and jury on this case, don't you? Look, I can't help the way you're feeling. I can't help you with that. I wish I could. But what we've got here right now is a legal problem, and I can help with that if you'll just let me do it.
I understand that.
Look, buddy, do yourself a big favor. Let the law decide just how much you were responsible for that fire.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. I just happen to be a little nervous, all right?
I know that. The going just may get a bit rough in there, and I don't want you coming apart.
Okay. I'm not going to come apart.
Well, I didn't want to worry you anymore, but I just as well know this. You too, Doreen.
What? What is it?
I found out this morning that Hank is holding up your application for a new liquor license.
Ah, terrific.
Jason, you mean he could keep us from opening the medicine man, even if everything went all right in there?
That's right.
Well, Luke, do you hear that? Unless you gain control of yourself, we could be out of business. You won't have a job. Barney won't have a job. I won't have a job.
I got the message.
Well, I hope so.
Gentlemen, Mrs. Aldrich, won't you come in, please? Have a seat.
Thank you.
It was a bad fire you folks had.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Well, I trust that Jason has explained to you that we've had several complete investigations and we've done some lab work.
Hank, I think we all know what's been happening here.
Do you? Well, good. Maybe you can all help explain a few things to me. Oh, Mr. Dancy, did you know that your electrician friend Matthew lost his license about 5 or 6 years ago over a fire on the south side? Did you know that, Mr. Dancy?
No, sir.
Well, that was just a small fire. No one died. We're familiar with Matthew's work. I mean, we're quite familiar. Were you Mr. Dancy before you hired him?
No, sir, I wasn't.
That's quite a responsibility you took on. I mean, the safety of the public in your hands. Were you aware of that when you opened your restaurant to the public, Mrs. Aldrich?
Hank, my clients were quite aware of their responsibilities.
Well, they certainly didn't do a good job at discharging those responsibilities at Andres, did they? I mean, 20 people injured, 3 dead? Now, look, I want some answers from you. And those answers better make sense of all this.
Now, Hank, I think that you'll find my clients will be most cooperative. Now, if we can just get on with this.
Okay. First, I better explain to you that if the state decides to prosecute, they're going to press charges of reckless endangerment, willful disregard, and manslaughter.
I'm afraid you're not going to like my decision because it's not... I mean, I prefer to wait until the end of June to get married. Is that too late?
I don't know, Sarah. Is it too late? Is it too late for us?
What do you mean?
Something's happened. Something has changed since we first decided to get married.
Well, a lot has happened.
I know. I know that the shock of your mother's death was terrible for you. I know what a strain it is to try to be the strong one for the rest of the family. But what I don't quite understand is, what is the strain of getting married?
It's not that, it's everything else.
Sarah, I am not blind. Every time I talk about our wedding, or try to, I see a cloud of doubt pass over your face.
I guess I'm frightened.
That's all right. Marriage should be approached with a little healthy fear. But Sarah, listen. If it's something else, you're not locked into this. You can change your mind.
Have you changed your mind?
Listen, baby. I know I've said this before, but let's pretend. Let's just pretend that this is the first time. You don't have to give the same answer. Sarah, will you marry me?
Yes.
Are you sure that's what you want?
I am. Thank you. That was very good for me.
Yeah. For me, too. Especially since you said yes.
But what about... You haven't answered my question. Is the end of June all right?
If that's what you want.
It is. It is, and I appreciate your being understanding about it. But what about you? What kind of wedding do you want? I don't even know.
I want a church wedding. And I want you looking gorgeous in a long gown.
Well, I think I can arrange that.
Good, good. You know, I can't decide yet whether or not I want a family wedding or a big, splashy wedding.
Oh, let's do it all. Let's have a big, splashy family wedding.
Okay.
Oh, Mike, I really want to do this right.
Honey.
What?
It just dawned on me.
What are you talking about?
It didn't occur to me before, but if we're going to have a big wedding, then of course we have to wait. It's much too close to your mother's death. I'm sorry, I didn't even think about it. I mean, the end of June is the earliest time possible.
Well, thank you for understanding that. I do want to do it right. I mean, I want Dad to be happy about this. I want everybody to be happy about it. But especially Dad and Maggie and Matt.
Sure. A big traditional wedding.
Very traditional and beautiful. Lots of flowers. I want just flowers everywhere.
Sounds to me like you want the kind of wedding Madison's never going to forget.
I want the kind of wedding that we're never going to forget. I want something that's going to start us off on a whole lifetime of caring and being together
and love.
I say so, got it? And you're a lot bigger than he is. Here. When you finish these, you can beat him up some more. After you beat me up, got it? Okay, go sit down. Scoot! Oh, excuse me. Where's the receptionist?
Oh, no, she'll be back later. Maybe.
Gonna have to work on her. Excuse me, I'm here to see Dr. Powers.
like everybody else.
Powers? Huh. Gonna have to work on him, too. Pete's sake. Hello? Clinic? H. Sweeney speaking. A message for Dr. Powers? Hold it. Okay, shoot. Greta will be by to borrow money. That's it? Okay, swell. Got it. Hey, message for Dr. Powers.
What?
Message for Dr. Powers.
What?
And make it snappy.
Yeah, okay.
Boy, this place is gonna need a lot of work. Assuming I get the job. Hello? Clinic? H. Sweeney speaking.
The doctors will return in just a moment.
Now, if you experience any severe headache, dizziness, ringing in the ear, anything at all, then stop taking the pills and call me, all right? And I want you to make an appointment with the receptionist for next month. Well, don't bother waiting. You never know when she's going to come back. I'll just put you down for 4 weeks from today, and then you'll get a card in the mail, okay? I'll see you next month.
Hello?
Oh, hello. You're going to have to wait just a minute, please. 3, 4... Let's see, June the 9th, Mr. Bentini. I hope that's right.
You're not the regular girl, huh?
What?
You're not the regular receptionist.
No. No, our regular receptionist... Well, she's either in the ladies' room on a coffee break or out to lunch.
Dr. McNulty's on his high horse again.
Yeah, what is it this time?
The x-rays are going over to his office over at the towers.
Tell him that I have already spoken to Matt and that he is going to straighten out those people by the end of the day, and I promise it on my life.
I wouldn't do that. He might want to collect.
Now, if we can just get your name and I can check you off on the list, then you can take a seat over there.
Oh, I'm not a patient.
You're not? Oh, excuse me. Hi, sweetheart.
Did you get my message?
Oh, yes, I did. Here, you know my locker. Well, there's a $10 bill in the side pocket of my purse, and there's some change. I don't know how much.
Okay.
I think your father probably has more, if you need it.
No, $10 is fine.
Oh, okay. Have you talked to him?
No.
Well, would you like to call him? Maybe he hasn't gone out to lunch yet.
I'm sure he's busy.
Okay.
Besides, I already ate lunch at school.
Well, I just thought that maybe you'd feel more like talking to him this afternoon. I understand you didn't say a word at breakfast.
Well, he didn't exactly say a word to me either.
All right, okay. But you're going to have to talk to him sometime, though.
I know.
You might want to offer a few words of apology to Mike, too.
No?
Well, I think he gets off duty soon. Why don't you go by Emergency on your way back to school and just say hello, okay?
Okay, I'll go on my way back from the health food store.
Ah, that's what you wanted the money for.
Yeah, they have a special sale on peanut butter and vitamins.
Oh, well, you know, we have peanut butter at home.
Yeah, but this has no chemicals in it.
Give him another lecture on smoking, will you? Okay. Oh, yeah, uh-huh.
Mom, there's also a sign in the window that says they have hamburger for $2.50 a pound. Is that good?
$12.50 a pound for hamburger? Oh, that's awful.
The woman's right, honey.
Yeah, but this has no artificial additives or preservatives in it. And they put no antibiotics in the animal's feed, so it's totally pure. They're raised on organic farms.
What do they feed it, gold?
No, come on, really. Mom, how much is regular hamburger?
About half that price.
Oh. Well, then it's not that bad. Anyway, everything in that store is sort of double, you know?
Well, try not to buy out the place, okay?
I can on $10.
Don't forget to stop by and see your brother. Oh, and don't forget to bring back my keys. No. No, I am not going to start answering that phone.
Hello, clinic. H. Sweeney speaking. Dr. Aldrich? Well, I can take a message.
Tell him he's not on today and to call his office.
Wait a minute. Dr. Aldrich isn't in today. You could try calling his office. You're welcome.
So you're H. Sweeney?
Yes.
From Boston?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Nobody told me you were here.
I'm here to be interviewed by Dr. Powers.
Yes, I'm Maggie Powers.
No, you're not Dr. Powers.
Yes, Dr. Margaret Powers. It's really hectic in this place today. I'm terribly
No, you're not Dr. Powers.
Yes, I am.
Boy, have they got you mixed up in Boston.
What?
What? They said you were a... What? I mean, you're not even a... Well, you're not half bad. How do you do?
How do you do?
You never noticed this before?
Well, Mr. Carew, I'm afraid I wouldn't understand what it was I was supposed to notice.
Mr. Dancy?
Yes, sir. No, I really can't make it out.
Hank, none of us were exactly trained to be investigators.
I don't expect them to be trained investigators. I mean, I had 2 teams involving 13 men working on this case. All I'm asking is, did either one of you notice anything unusual about the wires leading to and from the light box backstage?
Doreen?
No, I didn't.
Mr. Dancy?
No, not really. I really don't know that much about electricity.
Well, after your electrician had finished doing the job, I mean, did you ever think about asking him perhaps to show you what he'd done?
Hank, I think they both answered your question to the best of their abilities. They were unfamiliar with electrical wiring in that building.
Fine, all right. Neither of them noticed anything. Let me tell you this. If either of you had taken the time, you would have both noticed exposed wires, mismatched cables, malfunctioning circuit breakers, and about 12 other violations of the city fire code. The fire inspection team said that this building never would have been allowed to open its doors had they been aware of it. Now, Mrs. Aldrich, you helped to evacuate the building?
Well, yes, of course I did. Everybody did what they could.
Hank, I certainly hope you're not trying to imply that Mrs. Aldrich discouraged people from leaving the building.
No, I'm not trying to imply anything. I'm simply asking a question. I mean, you understand a public building. I mean, the owner has an obligation. That is to tell the people that there's a fire, and if necessary, assist them in getting out. You understand?
Yes, I understand.
Good. Now, let's get to another obligation. Now, both of you claim that you had no knowledge of knowing whether there was a certificate of inspection issued.
Well, we know now that Matthews had no intentions of getting their certificate at all. I mean, he kept telling me that he was going to get it, and there was no problem, not to worry about it, but he never did.
Well, Mr. Dancy, I think now you know that it is a problem. You see, a certificate of inspection is the only way a city government has of knowing whether a bar, a restaurant, or a nightclub, any building that is occupied by the public, is safe. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Right. Granted, sometimes it's inconvenient. Sometimes it costs money for repair and alterations to conform with the code, but it is a law. It's not just some form of government harassment. It's here to help you, too. I mean, after all, your electrician isn't responsible for the safety and welfare of the patrons of your nightclub. You are. Your electrician isn't responsible for obtaining a certificate of inspection. You are. And ultimately, your electrician isn't responsible for the fact that 3 people died in a fire. You are. Those 3 people died because of your negligence.
Now, hold on, Hank.
You killed those 3 people just as surely as if you put a gun to their head.
Hank, I'm not going to stand by and let you browbeat these people. I've been through enough.
I just want them to understand the facts.
They do understand. My God, Hank, this man's mother died because of that fire.
I'm sorry. I'm not here to punish you. I'm sure that they both will punish themselves for the rest of their lives, knowing that if they had done the right thing, there would have never been a fire, there would have been no property damage, there would have been no injuries, and above all, those 3 people that died would still be here today.
Well, let's see. You were at the Brentwood Clinic for 6 years, and excuse me. I'm terribly sorry we have to do this out here, but as you can see, there's no one on the desk.
No sweat.
Now, let's see. Where were we? Brentwood Clinic 6. Oh, yeah, and before that, you were at the psychiatric clinic at the Harris Memorial. Oh, that must have been a rough job.
Oh, not really. When you're a little loony yourself, you can get along just fine in a psychiatric clinic.
I guess so. So, why did you decide to leave the Boston area?
Well, when Mother's husband died, she's been through 3 now. Well, when he died, all us kids got together and decided, well, somebody had to come down to Madison to take care of Mother.
Oh, sure, of course.
So one night we all got together and drew straws. I lost.
Oh.
Mother's a real son of a gun, let me tell you. You'll have to meet her sometime.
All right. Are you sure that you know the salary and the fringe benefits?
Oh, sure.
Good. Well, I think I'm going to need just a little more information for our hospital files. Let me see. I've got the Social Security number. Oh, all I have for your name is H. Sweeney.
Well, that's enough.
Well, yeah, but I mean, what's your first name?
Everybody calls me Sweeney.
Well, all right, I'll call you that, too. But what's the H stand for?
You know, it really isn't important. Just call me Sweeney.
Well, I'm sure the government will probably want to know what...
Don't worry about the government. They know me.
What?
Oh, sure. I get a letter from the government about once a week. I answer them as fast as I can, but you know, there's so many agencies.
Yes.
I think it all started about 10 years ago when my Uncle Sean's pension checks started to come in 2 or 3 months late because they thought he'd died. Well, then, of course, when he did die, they started coming in right on time. I mean, but that's another hassle, though. Then we had to try to stop them from sending the checks. Do you realize how hard it is to try to get the government to stop giving away money? I mean, it took about a year. So don't worry about the government. Oh, and I know how to make them cough up on these Medicare and Medicaid forms, so you don't have to worry about any of that either. The government knows I don't give up. We'll get our money.
Good. Well, I think we're all looking forward to working with... Are you sure that you can start tomorrow?
Well, from the looks of this place, I really should start today, but I can't. I promised Mother I'd fix her chicken cacciatore tonight. Well, it's her bowling night. She thinks it brings her luck. Although how she expects to get the luck of the Irish from an Italian dinner, I'll never know. Well, the clinic opens at 8 o'clock.
Yes.
Well, I'll be here at 7:30. Of course, my sign won't be ready, but boy, there's plenty of organizing to do before that.
What do you mean? What kind of sign?
Oh, well, I fixed little signs to put up on the wall, you know, like this one. It's going to say, "To err is human, to forgive is against hospital policy." Sort of keeps them on their toes, you know?
Yes.
You know, I just can't get over how different you are.
Different?
Well, I mean, you're just nothing like what I expected. I mean, They told me up in Boston you were some tough cookie.
Really?
Well, I hope you don't mind my telling you this, but you've got some kind of reputation going for yourself. I mean, well, first of all, they think you're a man.
Oh. No. They probably meant Matt.
Who?
Matt. Dr. Matthew Powers. He's the chief of staff of Hope Memorial Hospital.
Oh, that's it then. Oh, I had it all mixed up. Oh, so he really does work here then? Oh, brother.
What's the matter?
I'm afraid to meet him. You know, up in Boston, they said he is very rough. They said that when he starts yelling, windows rattle.
Sweetie, that just isn't true.
Oh, yeah, but he's got to be rough. They all said that. I mean, just between you and me, how bad is he?
Sweeney, he's my husband.
Oh, you poor thing.
I think we've covered just about everything. I'm sure you both realize how serious the charges could be.
Well, I certainly do, yes.
I tried to make them aware of the possible charges before this meeting.
Mr. Dancy?
Yes.
Do you think you understand what your legal problems could be?
Yes, sir.
Fine. That's all I hope to accomplish. District Attorney Parker feels that prosecution of the charges would be useless at this time. Charges aren't going to be filed against you. But let me give you fair warning. You're going to open another restaurant. And a fire inspector is going to be there at least once a month, and a building inspector. Now, your restaurant better pass inspection. I mean, I don't even want to hear about an exit sign that doesn't work. Understood?
Completely understood. Thank you, Hank.
It's my job, Jason. Sometimes it's not pleasant, but what can I say?
I understand. Thank you.
Mr. Carew, thank you.
Thanks again.
And Jason, it is all over.
Yeah, it's all over.
Oh, I am so glad that I didn't have to answer those questions in a courtroom.
Well, you don't have to worry about that now.
Oh, and you know what? I could certainly use a drink.
Well, I'm fine, shall we?
Oh, absolutely. Come on. Luke, come on.
Ready to go, Luke? Hey, look, my friend, it's all over. You're free to go. Come on.
I'll be in prison, you know. And that's where that guy, he's right.
Luke.
You ought to put me in prison.
Now, come on. Let's just get out of here.
Don't you understand? You know, I did it. The man was right. I did it.
Oh, Luke, it's not your fault. It was an accident.
No
for heaven's
way.
sake.
Luke, don't you understand? I killed my own mother. I killed those 3 people. I did it.